Hello friends! Welcome to this week's card class. This week I wanted to actually use a couple stamps, well, a couple different sets of things for making cards, and this is the thing that actually inspired these cards this week. Some of my cards have chickens, and one of my cards has this really beautiful laurel on there. This die cut is called Laurel Leaf with Hen, but it's two die cuts in there, the leaves and the hen. So I thought we could have some fun with these. So I have kind of a couple silly cards and then one that is a little bit more simplistic, a little bit more basic. So we're gonna actually start with the more basic one first. All right, so for this card, we're gonna do a number of different layering things. What you'll see here is you have the Just For You stamped in the middle, and then this was Scattered Straw was the color of ink we used for this. And we also inked up the edges of this little strip. That way you can get some really nice contrast when you lay that down on the ivory paper. Okay, so just so you know. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So what you're gonna wanna do here is on the back side of this piece, so you have two pieces in your kit. They're both a linen finish. One is a little bit darker and one's a little bit lighter. You can of course decide if you wanna do one on the front, one on the inside, which color you wanna do. Personally, when I designed the card, I did the darker one, the darker of the two ivories on the outside. So that's what I'm gonna start with. We're gonna flip that over. We're going to put double-sided tape on the back on all four sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to take our mesh ivory ribbon. It's going to go right in the middle of the card here. Yes, some of the leaves are going to be covered up just a tiny little bit, but again, it's all about the layering here. So I'm just going to fold that over, stick that to the back side, and then I lay this down and fold that over so it sticks to the back. That way that stays in place. And then I'm just going to put double-sided tape on top of that mesh so then that way that area is sticky again. And then what I want to do here, so this part of the card is a little bit confusing, but basically what I'm going to have you do is take this, this kind of goldish sheer ribbon. We're going to fold it in half, find the halfway point, so that's right here. I'm going to stick that on the back in the middle. You could put double-sided tape there if you want, and I'm just going to lightly tack it down on the double-sided tape there. Now, we have our Just For You sentiment. That's actually going to lay right here. So I'm actually just going to bring this down just ever so slightly. And I'd say probably bring it down about 1/2 inch. Okay. All right. So you can leave these kind of hanging here for a minute. Once again, I'm going to put double-sided tape down. But we just don't want this to be in the very middle here, because if it's in the middle, then our sentiment is going to be kind of off. So now I'm going to take the Just For You sentiment and I'm going to stick it where I want it, which is just above where that ribbon comes out. Okay, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. So it's going to go right here. This ribbon is on either side there, so it's going to stick right at the top. I'm just holding it in place. I did not put any tape or glue on that. I'm just holding it there. I'm just going to hold that in place for just a moment, and then I'm going to fold this to the back side. And I'm going to flip this over and again fold this to the back side. Okay. All right, so then you end up with the Just For You, and then you have your ribbon coming out underneath it on both sides. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to put double-sided tape along this whole edge here just to make sure that there's tape all the way along that edge, and same with on the other side. Don't want to catch my ribbon there. All right, now I'm going to mount that onto my gold card base. You're going to get a nice border here. I would say it's actually probably about a good 1/4 inch of a border. It might even be 3/8 of a border, but it's a nice wide gold border. Now we're going to tie our bow here with this sheer gold ribbon. So I'm just going to pull that. I'm just going to hold that in place and just do a cute little bow. All right, and there we have it. I'm just going to pull that down a little bit. Whoops. I'm just going to bring that down. Okay. All right. Now, with our laurels here, oh, you might want to make your little bows a little smaller, just so that way you can read your sentiment there. I need to make that just a little bit tinier. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my scissors here. I'm going to trim my little tails nice and short. Not too short, but fairly short. Oh. 1 and 2. Okay. All right, so we have our nice little bow there. And then our laurels here, what we're gonna do with these is we're actually, see how these come together? I think yours has a little bit of a tail here at the end of that laurel. So what we're gonna do here, I'm just gonna give this nice contrast so you can see what I'm doing. I'm actually gonna trim these short, so that way we're not getting that little curve in there. We're just gonna have 2 little laurel leaves. That's it, okay? All right, so I'm gonna grab my glue here. Whoops. I'm gonna stick on some glue on the back side of my laurels. And you don't have to do every single leaf. I usually like to do at least a couple of them. And then also the stem right down in the middle there. That way there's lots of surface area for that to stick. Oh, of course, I got glue everywhere. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do, just for framing out our sentiment here, so I'm gonna do one underneath here, but making sure to keep that kind of balanced this way. And we're just gonna press that down. And then we're gonna grab the other one. And we're gonna do the same thing. Just some glue kind of every so often, so just so there's more surface area to glue that down. I like to just do them on a few of the leaves. And then this is gonna go at the top here. Again, we're just kind of framing out the sentiment, making sure it's balanced this way. And we're just gonna stick that right on there. All right, and then the last thing we're gonna do for the inside, we're just gonna take that lighter piece or whatever piece you decided not to use for the front, and this is gonna go on the inside, and it's the same, the cut is the same as the piece on the front, so then that way it just really mimics the front really nicely, and so you get a nice, beautiful gold border on the inside as well. I just thought that was such a great card, and the Just For You can really make it for birthday, it could make it, you know, for anniversary, you could really do a variety of different things, but I just loved the monochromatic gold with the ivories together. Oh, I'm so happy. All right, so there's card number 1 for you. On to the next one.